Hello and welcome along. Today we're back on Oakfield Farm and we're up at field 34 here, and what we're going to be doing today is with our T7 we're going to be doing some weeding. So we haven't done weeding for a little while, and I want to do as much variety on here as possible, and this thing is very wide, so this shouldn't take us too long. But it's one of those seem to be forgotten aspects of the game. So I want to do a little bit of that. So let's jump in our T7. And if we have time, what we might do at the end of this is we might go and see if we can do a mission. Because as you can see, we have only £98. So we need to raise a little bit of money. And the easiest way for us to do that is to do a mission. Now, is that working? I think that might be. Yes, that is working. Perfect. So we're going to weed the field. We got a nice wide weeder, so it is going to be a fairly quick one, this, I think. It does only go at 7 miles an hour with this tractor, but that may be a case if it only goes at 7 miles an hour anyway. But I think it's yeah. I wanna. Weeding is something that doesn't get done enough in farms, and I actually quite like it. I actually find it quite a relaxing thing to do. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of weeding, and just get our sugar beet nicely weeded, which is good. We're doing really well actually. Second day of summer, and we're very nicely into it. We should have certainly some pallets soon. And hopefully soon after that some boxes. And what we're going to get working on next time, I think, is going to be our fruit. So we're going to get the fruit farming started. We have strawberries, and we have strawberries and raspberries and cranberries, I think is the third one we have. So we're going to get working on those next time and start hopefully getting some of those out. But in the meantime, we have this last little bit of fertilizer. Basically, last little bit of fertilizing to do. I really wanted to do something different with the sugar beet. And weeding is something that I think with sugar beet works really well. I don't know if it works really well in real life. It's not something I've ever done in real life, but certainly it should work really well for what we're doing here. And the thing about this weeder is it is nice and wide. The more expensive weeder that's available in the game is actually slightly less wide, and the reason why it's more expensive is because you can seed. I think you can definitely seed grass with it. I think you might be able to seed. I'm not sure what else it is you can seed with it. It might be oilseed radish actually. So I'm not quite sure what use a weeder that can also seed is, to be honest. Because the whole point of using a weeder is first stage fertilization. So a weeder that both seeds and then does fertilization, I wouldn't have thought anything would have grown enough yet. So yeah, to me that's a little bit of an odd one. But yeah, I'm sure you know, all the machinery is based off real vehicles, so I don't see why that would be a big issue. But hey, it's, you know, what works. And how it works is a little beyond me in this case. But I quite like taking my my T7 around the field like this. It's doing jobs like this I quite like. I actually really like. Sort of just gets you onto the farm and gets you doing bits and pieces. We are going to use the GPS and go in cab in a minute. But I just wanted to make sure that I caught the edge of the field using this. So, yeah. That's what we need. I need to make sure that I'm up to the edge. But once we've got GPS, we can go in cab quite nicely without any issues. Of course, we've got the care wheels on the T7 here, which are working very nicely. This T7 has a huge number of care wheel options. I mean, it's a ridiculous number of care wheel options. So I'm quite pleased. Oh, there we go. I lift that up. And it took me a while to find the right ones. Right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to turn on the GPS, and that should be roughly the right place. Yep. Motherboard, and mark up, down, and away we go. And now we can go in cab, which is quite good. And we can do this from in here. We are set to 9 miles an hour on our cruise control, which is good. It only goes at 7. But it means we should be able to get a good turn in. I don't need more than one width at the top of the field. I think we are, yeah, we are in line also with how the field has been planted, which is very nice and very good. Makes for a much easier job doing that. And a much prettier job at the end of the day as well. Even if the rows of... Whoa. Yeah, this is where the care wheels come in really handy. There we go. I do need to stop at the ends, as it turns out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the auto stop on. And that will then help me along. And as we get down the field, of course, we're going to get wider. Yeah, that is down and that is working. I do like the little bit of also the dirt that you see pushed up at the back. So if we zoom in, you can see the bits of dirt and weeds and things that are being pulled out. So I really quite like that. That's a fantastic little animation, that is. Oh, there we go. Let's see where it stops. Okay, we can afford to add probably a little bit of distance onto that. We're going to make it 3 meters and see what happens there. There we go. Good, that went down in time. Absolutely brilliant. So it's, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. It's a good width. It's a very nice working width. It eats up the width of the field very quickly. And it works well with the T7. And whenever I can use the T7, makes me a happy camper. It really does. Because I love this tractor. I love this tractor a lot. Let's see what other... And let's open our sunroof. And let's open the rear window. It doesn't have extra sound if you open the rear window. That's a pity. And a nice warm summer's day like this, definitely want to open up the window. Should probably get the Proceed mod on here at some point so that we can actually get some tram lines into our fields. Away we go again. Oh, I think I left a small gap at the end there. Never mind. But yeah, it'd be very nice, I think, to get some tram lines in. So I might have a look at that mod. I've seen Landy use it, and I think Sim uses it as well. Ooh, what's that? Is that? Oh, does that raises the beacon? Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, sort of exploring the tractor a bit while we're doing this job. Yeah, not enough IC, I think, is probably my conclusion on this. I would love a little bit more IC on this. It's a really lovely tractor. But the IC that's on the Massey, I think I like more. Away we go again. There we are. Yeah, we've got a large chunk of this field out already, which is good news. And this is gonna... We're now on full yield on this field and 2 others. So both field 41, field 13, and now field 34. We're gonna have a full yield off all of these fields. Which should bring in a whole load of cash. And with any luck, it means that we can go into the next year with an awful lot of money. Which would be really nice. We might be able to get a couple more fields and do that. Because I really want to expand this further. I really want to get this farm into a proper big farm state. Because we've got 6 days to do everything. And while it's a little bit... While we are doing a lot of very similar things because it's seasons, I'm not finding that such a huge issue. We are keeping a fair amount of variety in these. And the live streams. Nope. There. And away we go. And doing lots of different things. And the weeding, of course, is one small part of that. It is a different way of farming and a different way of doing this. And just makes for a nice variety, as I said before, a nice variety of what we're doing. Currently deciding how I might do the final stage of fertilisation on field 9. As if I bring up my map again. Field 9, of course, is where our maize is. Where our corn is. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And we're going to rotate for the next year. We're going to rotate the crops. We're going to put 1 field of winter wheat in. And then everywhere else we're going to plant oilseed radish. And hopefully doing oilseed radish is going to increase our yield even more, so that the next year we'll have a really bumper crop. And it's oilseed radishes because it takes a lot of episodes and a lot of things to get through 2 years worth of seasons. Are we? Hang on. No, we're not. Let's get on track because we're not. We should get quite a good yield and a good setup, and we should get through a whole load of different crops because of it. And if we can go into next year adding another couple of fields, we'll be able to do different crops. So we might get some oats in, we might get some I think it's rye in here as well. And just do some more stuff and expand the farm even further. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to going through that and trying to get a second year on it. So I'm hoping you guys are going to keep watching for that, because that will be good fun. I'm going to enjoy that a lot. There we go. And down. We are a good... Well, how far are we through the field now? We're good over halfway through the field now. Which is fantastic, because looking at the amount of time we have left this episode, I'm really happy with that. We are really well on course to finish this today, and that will make me very, very happy. And as I said, next time we should be in a position absolutely where we can get the fruit going. which I really, really want to do. I really want to get onto that. Because it is a fruit time of year, you know. It's early summer is... I think early summer is actually June, because it's June, July, August. So it is about the time we should be getting the fruit going. I don't know. One of the things I'm really interested in is how the fruit is going to be affected by seasons. It's in greenhouses, so I'm not expecting it really to be affected much. And of course, there's no entries for it. How far are we from the end? Really? 11? Oh, wow. I can... Oh, no, 4. So if I stop this at 4 meters from the end, we would be good. Yeah, I think we could probably do fruit all year round, but I'm not going to. Because that really would be unrealistic. I'm just going to adjust this a little bit. And increase my end distance to 4.1. That should stop us before the end. Oh. Press the wrong button. Just want the little panel in. Yeah, this is very much an overlooked version. And one of the other things I'm considering doing actually is getting a roller. I do have a roller mod in, and it might be quite nice to do that as a fertilization. So we might, after harvest, we might go and roll the stubble or cultivate it, and then roll the cultivated soil. Just to sort of, I think you have to roll the cultivated soil. So if I remember correctly, not in game. I think in game, if you roll a tool, it will fertilize. What I mean is that if you, where did that stop? That did stop pretty perfectly, actually. So I think you have to. In real life, I think you only get benefit if you roll the actually cultivated soil. So we'd have to cultivate and then roll. We can probably... one of our seeders doesn't do cultivating. So that would be a perfect one to use it with. It would probably be next year's sugarbeet that we could do that with then. And see if that improves the yield on that. Trying to decide which field to do sugarbeet on next year. But mind you, we haven't harvested this year's sugarbeet yet, so getting a little bit ahead of myself. Oh, there we go. It is looking very nice, this. Very nice. I'm considering planting this field slightly differently next time. Maybe. See how we go. See if I can match how the rows are and just sort of make it really pretty. Because you could do this field north-south very easily. And turn into our previous tracks. And then round. Oh, not quite. There, there, there. And we're off again. Perfect. Yeah. This is going to be a really good yield off this field. It's going to make it. It's going to be. Yeah. We're going to make a lot of money just from sugarbeet. And we've got to store some for the pigs, but for the most part, this is just going to be a huge field of sugarbeet. One of the things we're going to do, we're actually going to tip on the corner of the field and load from there. What I'd really like is a sugarbeet pad somewhere and do that from there. But I'm not quite sure if I have an area on the map where I can do that with. And we are going to be using Courseplay a lot for when we're doing harvesting as well, which will be good fun. Because that means we can then just keep working with the harvesters. I'm going to have to set all of those courses up ahead of time, I think. So we can just go into it and away we go. There's a couple of little tricks with Courseplay. One of them is that if you go onto a map, you set up your Courseplay courses. And this is really useful when you have crop destruction on. You can go in, set up your Courseplay courses. As long as you save your Courseplay courses and not the map, not your save game, then the Courseplay courses will remain, and you've got automatic Courseplay. You've got your Courseplay set up for when you come in and then do the field. So you've destroyed crops setting up the Courseplay, and then you never see it because it's already done, which is a nice little trick with Courseplay. And I think I might look at a multi-Courseplay setup, where the beauty of that is you set up your bit around your tipping area, and then you set routes to it and from it. And that means that you can do multiple routes, and you then merge 3 routes to make a complete Courseplay route. And that can be really powerful, especially in maps where here it's not such a huge problem because the tipping area is very much a drive-through. But on maps where you have where it's quite difficult to do that, where your tipping is quite tight, or it'd be difficult to do that Courseplay course through there every time, that's a great way to do it. Record a good route through the difficult bit, and then record up to that point from the field, and then back from the field, and back to the field from the end point of that, and it just works a treat. Very tempted that if Courseplay comes out for FS19 of doing a tutorial series on it. I feel it's a little late for FS17, but for 19 I think it might be quite useful. What's our forecast like for the next few days? How are we looking for the end of the summer? So, end of summer into autumn, we're probably looking at starting the harvest on Friday then. We're currently Monday. On Friday, on day 6 of summer, probably looking at starting the harvest and continuing through on the Saturday, so the first day of autumn. But I want to watch it because I don't want to harvest at the moment that this becomes that everything comes right. I want to get into it a little bit. We have the flexibility to not have to harvest things immediately, of course. So we will see how that goes. But it's yeah, it looks like we're in for a couple of wet days, and in that we should be all right. It's the wet days we really have to watch when we want to do harvesting stuff. Friday, looking at that, the Friday we're probably going to want to end up doing some mowing. So we need to get some probably some more slurry down if we can. So that's coming soon, and I don't know if that's a good thing to do in the rain, or maybe that's a good thing to do after the rain. Or maybe a good thing to do before. Maybe it'd help it soak into the ground. But either way, we'll keep an eye out. Basically, I want to use this map to explore a lot of those things that just don't tend to get explored a lot in France. To which point we probably want to put some potatoes in, but we don't have the money for potato harvester. Quite expensive things those are, if you wanted to do more than 2 meters. And at the moment we have chosen to do to do sugar beet. We do actually have a roper harvester mod on here, but I'm looking at where we're going to be and what we have, and I think I'm going to end up using the roper DLC on this map. Have a roper harvester in it anyway. Swap out that mod for the proper roper harvester, and go with that. I think would be a good use of vehicles in this. The only one I'm saddened about is on Ballincraig. That it looks like we're going to hit the harvest before Matt XJS's DLC is out. I really wanted to use his TX34 Combine on that map for Eddie, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be. I don't think it can delay long enough is the trouble. It would need to, yeah, it would need to be coming out. Well, it's going to come out in the next 2 weeks, I think. Certainly all the rumblings I'm hearing is that it's going to come out in the next 2 weeks. But I don't think you guys will want to wait that long for the harvest on Ballincraig. I think you'll want to see Eddie harvest his crop before then. There we go. We are nearly at the end of this field. Don't think we've got more than 2 or maybe 3 runs to do. But it's going along very nicely. I don't think we've missed any significant patches. We'll check at the end. But yeah, I don't see us having missed any significant patches, which is very good. A nice clean beat as a result, which will produce us a huge amount. God, it's gonna take forever. We might want 2 harvesters actually. Look at the size of this field and the width of the harvester. It all depends on how well we can keep the harvester going, really. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. What is our working width? Our working width is 12 meters. Not bad at all. Good, decent working width, that is. Helps us get the job done fairly quickly. A lot quicker than it was seeding this. Right, and... back around. Down and away. Yeah, 2 more rows after this, I think. It's actually really spot on timing. I'm really pleased. It's worked wonders. We are at 29 minutes on my count. It may be because of the with editing and things, it might go a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. But yeah, we're looking at being fairly spot on half an hour with this. Which is always good. I like to have my episodes about 30 minutes. Right, and last little patch. Take us up to the end. And there we go. Right, we will fold that up. And once that's done, I will turn the engine off. There we go. Right, that is that job done. I'm really happy with that. We are... Oh, let's just check our coverage really quickly. So there we go. Field 34, really nicely covered. Seems to be a little bit of a misbit at the edge, but otherwise, I'm really happy with that. That's much better than how I was with 41 and 13. So that's great. Field 9 still needs doing. 14, 10 and 46 we need to add some slurry on because those are our grass fields. But for now, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment and give it a share. And for the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and I will see you next time. Goodbye.